So yesterday was a big deal for ESPN. Not only did they announce their acquisition of NFL Network, their draft coverage expansion, not only did they announce that their launch of their direct-to-consumer service will launch on August 21st, but we're going to talk about that direct-to-consumer service because it directly affects the WWE. Now, it has been rumored for years. The WWE deal on Peacock expires in early 2026. That WWE was not going to keep their deal on Peacock. They were looking elsewhere. Obviously, the number one thought was, well, they're just going to put everything on Netflix now because Netflix has the international rights to not only Monday Night Raw, but Friday Night SmackDown and NXT and PLEs as well. It makes sense to have everything under one library. But this is not the same old WWE. And if this isn't proof of it after yesterday's announcement, I don't know what is. This is a TKO company now. And ESPN essentially doubled what Peacock was paying. Peacock was paying about 180. ESPN's going to pay, I believe, about $320 million a year to broadcast every single WPLE starting in 2026, which ironically is going to be the Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia. How about that? And the report out there says that this deal is going to start with 10 PLEs a year. Now, obviously, this doesn't count Saturday night's main event, but if you go over the PLE calendar for WWE, it is this year Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, WrestleMania, Backlash, Money in the Bank, Night of Champions. That's six right there. Then you have SummerSlam, that's seven. Clash in Paris is eight. Crown Jewel is nine. And Survivor Series would be 10. So if I'm missing any, I apologize, but there's your 10 right there. And this is going to be, again, on for the US only because international is still going to have Netflix. This is going to be on ESPN's new direct to consumer streaming service, which, as I talked about before in the last segment, when it comes to the NFL network, I still don't know exactly what this is. Now, apparently, if you have direct TV like I do, or a cable provider that already provides ESPN, Hulu, Fobo, some have said YouTube TV. Now it sounds like YouTube TV is not initially going to be a part of this deal. Who knows? We'll see. And everybody's trying to get confirmation on that. But if you have one of these services, it's going to be on your TV completely for free. And we know that Peacock has increased their rates. I mean, it used to be $6.99, then it went up to $77.99. Now, with their acquisition of the NBA, and they're going to have exclusive NBA games on Peacock every single Monday night, they are raising the price on that to $3 a month to $10.99 a month. And so Peacock is getting more and more expensive. And so for me, it's actually going to save me money. The fact that WWE PLEs are going to move over to ESPN. And because I have a cable subscription, I'm basically going to get these PLEs for free. Now, if WWE is still going to produce their PLEs, we know, as I talked about in the last segment, unless it's Pat McAfee, ESPN likes to put their stamp on everything, and it is a Disney-owned network, and it is a Disney-owned streaming service. So maybe ESPN's not gonna allow WWE to air swearing and all that the way they've done on Peacock and Netflix. There may be more of a hard out than there is on Peacock. I'm not necessarily sure about that. So some of the logistics on WWE POEs may change. But I think overall, if you're just a fan of WWE, this is not a great move, especially if you don't have cable. But if you are a sports fan, and most WWE fans we know are NFL fans, I mean, we see that WWE's viewership during the fall, especially on Raw, drops because of Monday Night Football. Now, that was historically, obviously, in the past when it was on cable. And I've said this before when WWE launched the WWE Network in 2014, remember they had the shirt. I have it somewhere in my closet, $9.99. The WWE Network was revolutionary. It was one of the first ever streaming services to launch, and that incredible features, including the fact that you could go through every single PLE. You could click on exactly the match that you wanted to watch. And I don't know, it was a really great navigation bar. They had a lot of great original shows. I mean, the WWE Network was incredible, especially for 2014 streaming. Since they moved to Peacock, it's been a lot easier, I think, for fans to watch the PLEs, but the navigation of the actual WWE Network library has been harder. Now, interestingly enough, the network library reportedly is not a part of this deal, that ESPN is just going to be streaming the PLEs. The network library could still land somewhere else. And there are reports out there that Peacock could retain it, or that Peacock could get in the business with NXT POE still, or that it could get in the business with TNA. We know they have a collaboration with WWE, and we know that TNA is looking for a new streaming partner and a new TV partner for its media rights. And there's reports out there that obviously Netflix could take it, as I mentioned. So this is TKO. This is not WWE. This is TKO trying to get the most money possible, trying to break up the assets, which I don't blame them for. That's the goal of today's country is to make money. And I'm not surprised that ESPN and WWE have this partnership because I believe that TKO wants WWE and UFC under one umbrella. Now, with this direct to consumer streaming service, it's unclear whether or not UFC POEs, which we know, are pay per views, I guess, for them. We know they cost $80. We know they're a part of ESPN Plus, and you have to have ESPN Plus plus an actual another $80 to pay for the pay per view. Will these also be moving to the direct to consumer service? We don't know about that. Again, I would suspect maybe they would. I think TKO wants WWE and UFC under one umbrella. But this is so interesting to me when it comes to the new era because we talk about this all the time, right? When it comes to the NFL, in order to watch every single game of the NFL season, not only do you need NFL Sunday Ticket, which is now through YouTube TV, you not only need a cable package provider that provides CBS, Fox, NBC, ABC/ESPN, but then you need, ESPN Plus, whether it's YouTube, a Peacock exclusive, Amazon Prime for Thursday night, Netflix for Christmas games, whatever it is, the NFL is rolling on every single platform possible. And WWE fans, we know, are very smart. We know they're very technology savvy, and we know they have followed WWE everywhere. Whether it's on cable with the USA Network, whether it's on broadcast with CW, whether it's with streaming on Netflix, whether again it's streaming on the WWE Network, streaming on Peacock, streaming on Netflix. WWE fans are used to streaming, so this will not be a burden for them. But if you don't have a cable package, it is going to cost you more. And I'm wondering if that will affect viewership at all. Now, again, in my opinion, I've said this a lot. When streaming first came out, obviously Netflix first came out, then it was a little bit of Hulu, which is now being merged with Disney Plus. I mean, this world now, we have a streaming service for essentially everything. I always thought streaming was made not for original content like these Netflix original shows or these Hulu or Amazon Prime original shows. I always thought streaming was meant for to go back and watch old shows or old movies and just have everything on an on-demand library. I did not think that streaming was made so that if you miss a show, you could go back. I'm still very old school. I don't like to go back and watch a show I missed on Paramount Plus. I like to record it on my DVR. If I can help it, I still like to watch shows live. I'm still sort of that old school guy in me that's not really resistant to streaming media, but I am hesitant about it because I think it's getting way too much. And I think in order to watch everything in today's world, you not only need a cable package, but you need streaming. And the YouTube TVs and the Hulu and the Fubo TV and everything out there that's an alternative to cable, have all raising their prices so much that it's now basically cable, that you might as well go back to cable. So today's world is crazy. We're finding new ways to watch than ever, but I do think this WWE ESPN partnership has the potential to be really good. And I also think if you don't have a cable package, it has the potential to be really bad. And again, I just hope that ESPN does not put their spin on it. Like that clip from the Brands World podcast? If so, make sure you go down there and hit that subscribe button. While you're down there hitting the subscribe button, make sure to also hit the notification bell so you never miss another upload. And make sure you check out all the other clips from the Brands World podcast right here on YouTube.